Brendan, how's the squad looking heading into tomorrow's game?
Yeah, pretty much as we've been. Obviously, Greg will come back into the squad, so yeah. But apart from that, it'll be the same. Yeah.
Obviously, known as quite a tough venue going away to St Mirren, but a game you handled pretty well away from home at the start of the season.
Yeah, we were very good. And you have to be, because Stephen's an outstanding coach and manager. His teams are very clear in how they play. They understand their roles. They make it really difficult for you. They press the game really well. They're very coordinated when they haven't got it, and then when they do, they play a direct game. They get it up, they get it wide, they get crosses in the box. So it really challenges you. But I felt the game earlier on the season we managed that aspect of it really well. You just have to do all what you would say the dirty bits of the game really well, all the stuff that doesn't maybe get a lot of attention. But we did that really, really well. The running was hard. We counter-pressed the game well, and then that gave us a great foundation to play our football.
Maybe had a slightly different task now than it was in August, just given the fact that the pitch maybe isn't as in good condition. Stephen Robinson saying this morning that might be a bit of a leveller.
I'm sure it will be. But listen, we've gone to pitches before and they haven't been great, and we played some really good football on them. So listen, it won't be an excuse. We have to deal with the conditions. Ideally, we would all want to have really good pitches for the quality of the game. But however it is, we will deal with it.
It was news I think we knew was coming, but this morning was the confirmation that in the games between Celtic and Rangers for the rest of this season we'll have that allocation, slightly bigger allocation as well that there was previously. You happy to see that back?
Yeah, I think everyone is. It's a big part of the fixture. Having been involved in it with the supporters there, both home and away, and then obviously them being taken away, then it does make a difference. So yeah, I think it's great for everyone, great for the game, great for the spectacle of the game, and obviously ultimately for the supporters. They get the chance to see their team, which is great.
Is this the hope? Is this that this is the start, essentially, that maybe it can go back to the levels it was previously, or are you quite happy with the level it's gone in at now in terms of numbers?
Well, we just have to get supporters back in the stadiums again. That's the start point, and then hopefully it can get somewhere near to where it was before, because that always created an amazing atmosphere.
It's something that you've spoken really passionately about before, making sure there are away fans in these fixtures. How pleased are you personally to get this done, and how much work did you do with the club behind the scenes to get this over the line?
No, listen, this is all the club. The club have dealt with it really well. Like I've said, I always said before, this wasn't a Celtic thing. This was something that sadly was out of our control at the beginning of it all, and but thankfully now both clubs come together, and it's been Michael and the people behind the scenes that have dealt with it, and yeah, it's great for us involved in the game.
And on a different note, Dundee United have confirmed they got a call with Willie Collum today about the goal they got disallowed on Wednesday. Have you had any sort of communication or update from the SFA about what happened in the game against Hibs?
I haven't spoken personally to anyone. The club have obviously been dealing with that, but everything we try to do that in-house and deal with it from there. But I haven't spoken to Michael today, so as far as I'm aware, we hadn't heard anything.
And then in terms of the ticket lunch story and all that stuff, you've obviously been trying to kind of herald the kind of wider appeal of the Scottish game, maybe even beyond Scotland. Is there a sporting element to it? I mean, do you get an advantage having away fans locked out of your own ground, and disadvantage in contrast when you go away? Or how does it affect it on the pitch?
I think it's. I would say you could argue it's maybe more difficult it can be more difficult for the home team without the support. The opposition supporters in, because sometimes in the game the supporters can be distracted by the away support, and that takes sometimes a wee bit away from the actual football. Whereas if you're the home team and it's just all your supporters in, everything is focused directly on the game. But listen, football, as we know, is about the rivalry and there's arguably no greater rivalry, than Celtic v Rangers and world football. There's many great derbies, of course, but this one being an exceptional one. So I think it's just good to have both sets of supporters in, and I think for the game itself, it always adds to the spectacle.
Just wanted to ask as well, Jude Bonner came on in the 80th minute on Wednesday night there. How important is it for you just to promote younger talents coming through the academies? Always.
Every club I've been at, that was a big part of my development as a coach. I worked, for 15 odd years in youth development, so I like to think I know it quite well. I'm passionate about young players. And every club I've been at, I've always played young players and put them in. So yeah, it's a nice reward for Jude. The path into any first team is not meant to be easy. It's not just something that you go through your age groups. You have to earn the right to come in. But at the same time, I'm always looking for the opportunity to put in young players, and we have to have space for them. I think that's what's important. So it's nice for Jude. He's done very well with the second team. But not only that, he's working very, very hard, which I notice. I see him in the gym a lot, doing his extras to get himself physically ready. He's technically very good in the game. Like I said, he's improving his physicality. He's improving the competitive side to his game. Tactically, he understands how we work, and for him to get that feeling of coming in, and for me, what he also showed was personality, because I like my players, especially young players, to have the personality to come into the arena and play for Celtic, and he showed all of that. So I should hopefully give him that bit of motivation now to push on.
How is Greg Taylor? Is he aware of what's coming for next weeks and months ahead?
It's like lots of things in life, until you actually experience it, he won't know. So no, we're delighted for him and Laura. Obviously they had their baby daughter, which is so nice for him. And I was saying to him actually today, my daughter turned 29 today herself, and as soon as I spoke with Greg, it took me back to that moment, and I said, you have to cherish every moment, because Misha's 29 today, and it's just gone so fast. And I'm saying to him, you make sure you enjoy it as well, because the time goes so fast as a parent. So he's obviously happy, and baby's healthy, and mum's healthy, and so it's great news for him.
In terms of left backs as well, Jeffrey has come in and made an immediate impact. What have you made of him, and have you thoughts about the summer in terms of his future yet, or is that too early? Or?
Yeah, but I'll have a chat with Jeffrey towards the latter part of the season. It was the case of him coming in and settling and getting to understand how we play. I think we can all see he has that Premier League physicality and quality. He's a guy that's a top professional. That's why he's been in over a decade in the Premier League, because you have to look after yourself. You've got to have the right qualities, not only as a player, as a person. So we knew what we were bringing in. I'm really happy for him, because he's settled into the group really well now, and now he has a feel for how he play and what the role is. It gives us two really strong players to finish the season in that position.
How pleased are you with the kind of hunger the group are showing? The moment you look at the lead at the top of the table, you might think there's a temptation to kind of take the foot off the gas a wee bit, but you look at the game the other night, they lose a goal late on, they want to go and get another one, and Callum was just saying that they weren't very happy with their own performance throughout the course of the game, despite winning 5-1. What does that say about the culture in this group? Yeah, but
we've tried to set a standard of performance, and I think the scoreline was fantastic. When you come off against one of your rivals, one of your big rivals up here, and you can win 5-1 and still be not overly pleased with elements of the performance, then it shows you the standard that we demand. So that's a good thing, because you can always improve, even in a 5-1 win, and that's what we've spoken about. But the whole the whole point was to get to this point of the season in the best place we possibly could. So we had 10 games to go, having the lead that we have, having already won a cup, having shown progress in Europe. We arrive now into this stage of the season where virtually from Saturday we'll go into one game a week. So the freshness, the ability to train, to work on things becomes a great advantage for us, and that's all we can ask. So the players have really set a top standard. It's been relentless really for the last 3.5 months. We've played in the last 3 months. We played over half a season's games in 3 months. I think it's 23 games or something we've played, and because of the nature of how we play and the level that we want to play at, and they've been absolutely magnificent. I can't speak highly enough of them. So, but we still got a big job to do. We have the advantage in the league, of course, but for me it doesn't mean anything. We have to go into every game to win and to perform at the highest level we can.
I was reading about this time last year that you started to hit your peak and your kind of best run of form. Is that the challenge to do even play even better than you have been playing already this season, just to enjoy the run in as well?
Yeah, the whole nature is to start fast and finish strong as a top team, and we started really, really well. Performance level, goals, clean sheets, intensity. Then we go through a period where the performances still were very good. Some were really intense, some were where we got the job done, and maybe not as intense, but that's natural with just the sheer scale of games. And now we arrive into a part of the season where we want to finish really strong.